Hey, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakah that belongs to the Apostle Nel's Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to your occupation is true throughout the four winds. Um, Today, I'm going to go into hell, speaking on hell, just showing that this isn't a place under the ground where some red man with a pitchfork lives waiting to burn your soul or whatever for eternity. Just a couple scriptures that basically you could just ask yourself inside of these questions, like how it makes no sense. Okay. Ecclesiastes 3:20, it says, all go into one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to the dust again. So if everybody goes to one place, how is it that you find a separation? Okay, if it's telling you that everybody go to one place, it's Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return into the Most High who gave it. Okay, so our spirit goes back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and these bodies, which are dirt, basically returns to the ground. And our purpose in coming down every reincarnation, every regeneration, is to do the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know what I'm saying? And you just, common sense, you just think like, if it's a place underground burning right now, wouldn't we like be baked noodles on the planet? If it's 1,000 times hotter than lava or whatever, we should be boiling right now, So everything should be dried up. You think about this. We got a sun on top of us, and you got lava or like burning fire under us. That means everything in the middle is torture. But these are the things that Christianity pushes forth and believes. How the hell is that even possible? But when you do a little research, we're going to go to religion. Now you look at this. The Catholic Church being the biggest, being the largest. So by them being the largest and all these things going on, you look back into slavery, okay? And you'll see that all these religions were set forth to do one thing. It's scare tactics, okay? It's scare tactics. All right, look at all these Edomites with their religion, okay? And their religion is basically to keep the minds of really the Israelites in darkness. All right? So all these religions, everybody has a religion, a church they go to, and you have to understand that it was all set up by Esau. Okay? Now just imagine in slavery, when these men had their religions set forth, they could say and do whatever they wanted to because the slaves had to listen. All right? So if they said it was hell, you believed it was hell. All right? And now, even today, let's look at this 501c3 religious organization. You can get online right now and start a nonprofit ministry. Make your ministry tax exempt. So by this being your ministry, you could basically add and subtract whatever you want to your ministry. Okay? Pricing, and it's a startchurch.com. You can start your own church under this 501c3. But keep in mind, if it's pushed forth by these same Edomites, guess what they're going to have in it? A hell. Okay? So the root of all this hell talk comes from your enemy. Now, what's their benefit from this? To keep Israel lost and to make money. Because if they can scare you into believing that it's a place underground that you burn, you're going to go to that building. You don't want to be a part of that. You want to be a part of salvation. And then when you're a part of salvation, guess what happens? You start giving them money. You start falling into that trick. So it all makes sense with them. And Jake is so lost that they're going to naturally be in the mind frame that it was when these men had them in slavery, because it's like you take the mind, the body will follow. So throughout all these years of being told that it's a place called hell underground that's burning, that you go to and you burn, they're going to listen to it. Okay? But this is we're going to go into the word hell. This is Jonah. Chapter 2, verse 1, it says, Then Jonah prayed until Yahweh Shem Yahshai's power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto Yahweh Shem Yahshai, and he heard me out of the belly of hell. Cried I, and thou heardest my voice. Now, go into that word hell. It says, Sheol, underworld, grave pit, underworld, and it's basically trying to tell you that it's something underground, the underworld. Okay, now let's go to this Strong's. It says Hades, or the world of the dead. Okay, Hades, we know that's Zeus, Hades, Poseidon. You can watch movies like Wrath of the Titans, and all these Greek gods and all these beings are in it. So then you go to Christian views on Hades, and you have Hades, according to various Christian denominations, is the place or state of departed spirits, known as hell, borrowing the name from the Greek god of the dead. And you tie this to the Bible, right? And this is tied to the scriptures. Okay? First of all, can we see spirits? Can we see a spirit right now that has the form of us? Because if we could, guess what happened? You would be able to touch it. So to go to an eternal fire burning as a spirit don't feel. They don't have bodies like this. They're not going to feel anything. Okay? Spirits have their purpose. Spirits of vengeance, spirits of everything to show how Yahweh Shem Yahshai judges. Okay? So this is basically Christianity at its finest, but the point in all that is scare tactics. Let's make money off of it. Let's basically use this for our agenda. Now you go to a seminary school and you're forced to teach people these same things. Okay? Just to scare them into the mind frame of, I need to go to church. I need to be in here where this man is set up, or I'm the man that's set up to preach to these people. Do right, you go to heaven. Do wrong, you go to hell. Okay? So they're going to fear this place called hell. All right? Now, when we go to the bottom of this, it says Lazarus and the rich man, illumination from the Codex Aureus, and whatever that word is. So this is a story in the Bible. Now, just to show you how dumb and how people don't read. This is Luke. This is where the story comes from. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and far sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. Now, let's go to the word Lazarus, whom God helps, a form of Hebrew name Eleazar, an inhabitant of Bethany, beloved by Hamashiach and raised from the dead by him, very poor, wretched person, to whom Yahushua referred in Luke. Now, let's go down here to Strong's. It says the name of two Israelites, one imaginary. Okay, we know the other Lazarus, so this one is the imaginary one. This is an imaginary being, so this would be a parable. Okay? And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. So, that rich man is who you would see today as Esau, so-called Caucasian race. All right? This is a parable. This is an imaginary person, and we would be the representation of Lazarus. Okay? And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. So their spirits went somewhere. Okay? And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. Now, why would Abraham be in hell? Abraham, why would he be underground burning in hell? Okay. It says, and cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Okay, so now it looks to the eyes that can't receive this like these people are in hell. They're underground and they're burning. They're in Hades. Okay. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed. When something is fixed, it means it's set up that way. Okay? It's set up that way. You can't change it. If something is fixed, that means that's what it is. So that they which would pass from hence, you cannot. Okay? Neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. So it's basically like you lived in your good moments. We lived in our bad. Now you have to live in your bad, and we have to live in our good. Okay? It's just a role reversal. This is just the basically saying that the time is coming that Esau is going to take the dive into where we are now, and we're going to be in total rulership. That's all it's saying. Okay? Hell is a representation of a very low place. We're in our hell right now. Okay? But we're not going to remain there. So Abraham wasn't in no place underground burning. And why would he use Abraham? The chosen line, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Okay? That's Israel. All right. Now let's look at Isaiah 5:13. It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself. Why did hell enlarge herself? Because where we are as a people, we're in a very dead mind state. Okay, so everywhere we were scattered to, we're brought very low, and we would follow the ways of the heathen. That made us dead. Okay, that place is hell. Okay, that place is the grave. All right, and it also has the graves. Like if you die, your body's in the dirt. You know, it pit, hell. You know what I'm saying? But it says, therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. So now when we get to these places and we start following the deceit and the things of our captors being captives, we would get comfortable there. So we would constantly be in a dead mind state, and we would stay in hell. Okay? You're going to constantly live in this hell because your mind doesn't want to deflect from what you're in. It looks good. Okay? Do as thou wilt. All these things look good. All right? See, this has nothing to do with no place burning underground. Hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. Why? Because our people are going further and further into the mind frame of Esau. Okay? Proverbs. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the what? The dead. The dead. What is the representation of hell? Being dead. Okay? The pit. Death. The grave. Okay? Our mind frames that we had before this truth came, Yahweh Hashem Ashah brought this truth on us, was dead. We was dead. You know what I'm saying? We were constantly dead. All right? Acts 2:27. Because thou will not leave my soul in hell. Why wouldn't our soul be left in hell? The men that the Lord used. Neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Okay? So this death, this thing that we're looking at here, this form of death is hell. Okay? This form of death is hell because our minds constantly are basically being put in a mind frame of everything that these people are telling us is true. It's factual. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself because our people are going to go further and further off. It's like not going to be no reconciliation for certain people. That's why it says, because thou will not leave my soul in hell. Doesn't mean you're going to be underground burning. You know, you're not going to be underground burning and then the Lord's going to come and get you out of that place. No. When we were walking out of the congregation of righteousness and understanding how all of us were, we were dead. Okay? And the Lord, that's why it says, because the Lord did not leave certain men there. Okay? Certain men wasn't left dead. Psalms chapter 9 verse 16, it says, Yahweh Shem Yashah is known by judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hagion Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forgot what? Yahweh Shem Yashah. So the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding Guess where guess what he's in? He's dead. Okay? He's dead. The wicked shall be turned into hell. Why would they be turned into hell? It tells you, and all the nations that forgot him. So wherever we were scattered to and brought low, and our minds followed these pagan gods and everything and all this religion, we will be in the congregation of the dead. Dead as hell. Okay? The pit. Brought very low. All right? Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Just like we read earlier, when it was talking about the rich man. The rich man was very high when he was alive. Okay? All of a sudden, when he died, he became very low. Right? This is Isaiah 14. You know, it's just a big role reversal. Okay? They're going to go into their hell. Them being brought to a point of being low. Thy pomp is brought thee down to the grave. This is speaking of Esau in Isaiah 14. Your pride is brought you down low. And the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So, this is just a metaphor. You're going to be brought low. Worms are underground. Okay? So it's basically telling you you're going to be brought down. It says, how art thou fallen, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And this is Edom. Okay? They weakened the nations. All right? With what? All those philosophies and all that nonsense that you find in Christianity and religion. These people really believe this shit, bro. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Where are we at? North America. Okay? So, wherever we're spread, they will be on top of us. This is why hell hath enlarged itself, because the philosophies of religion that they put forth, our people would eat it up. Okay? It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. So are you telling me that Esau's going to be brought to a place underground burning? To the sides of the pit? No, he's going to be brought very low. Just like Deuteronomy 28 and 43 says, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt get very low. And all it's telling you now is they're going to be brought very low, and we're going to be put very high. Just a role reversal. They're going to go through their hell just like we're going through our hell right now. Not a place burning underground. Okay? So, I hope this is edifying. You know, these people really believe in the dumbest of dumb things, bro. These Christians and this dogma, and it just makes no sense how people really believe it's a place underground that's burning with fire, bro. Like, how is that even possible for a spirit that has no flesh on it to be underground burning? You know, none of these things make sense, you know, but our people believe it, you know. So hope this is edifying. I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, Bashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostle, that was a great millstone. Peace and blessing to y'all. Can preach this truth throughout the 4 winds. Till next time, Shalom.